Player 4 Podcast's first t-shirt is now on sale at tpublic.com. Ever wonder what it takes to make a good podcast? We've already done the math for you and put it on a t-shirt. Visit our storefront at tpublic.com/user/P4podcast and get yours today. That's tpublic.com/user/P4podcast.
This is the Player 4 Podcast. Join us each week as we talk about video games, entertainment, and pop culture, and bring in guests from the Rooster Teeth community. Player 4 has entered the game.
What's up, ladies and gents? It's time for the Player 4 Podcast.
Hello, I am Tristan, aka Shagrazir on the Rooster Teeth website.
I am Alex, aka Chaos Black 21.
And I am Malachi, a.k.a. Sukikiba.
And we are the Player 4 Podcast. Assemble! Wait, where's
and?
Joseph?
Why did I say
Minus one
You did
Joseph.
say and. I guess you were right in saying and this week. Joseph is tired and a sleepy pie, so he's asleep. So, it's just the three of us tonight. It's the Player 3 Podcast.
Bum, bum, bum.
We have a couple fun topics coming at you tonight. First, we're going to talk about some Hollywood. We've got a few movies coming out, namely Batman, The Killing Joke, Warcraft, the movie, and finally Borderlands, the movie. Then we're going to relive vicariously Season 4 of Red vs. Blue with Malachi. And finally, I was going to talk about some of the things I saw and did at PAX East this year, just last week.
This year, just last week.
Well, 2 weeks ago as of the release of the podcast, whatever.
And we gotta listen to your shenanigans of the fun time you had without us.
Yeah, I have so much fun without... I have so much fun without you guys, I should do it more often.
Hey.
So, first things first, Batman the Killing Joke has just recently been announced and had a trailer come out, yesterday?
Yes, for the movie. Playing off of the comic that was made a lot longer time ago.
Very long ago. So, The Killing Joke follows the storyline of the Joker attempting to justify or prove the justification of his descent into madness to Batman and the city of Gotham by kidnapping Commissioner Gordon and his daughter, and then forcing Commissioner Gordon to watch the torture of his daughter. And in all of this, he's just trying to prove that even the best and most honorable citizen of Gotham can fall into madness like the Joker, if with just one bad day.
Well, be careful how much you describe, because what if no one read the comic and that was just like a huge spoiler?
I haven't read the comic, but I have a friend who's deeply into Batman, so I get knowledge about Batman even when I don't want it.
He's kind of just sticks a funnel in your mouth and just starts dumping it in your mouth.
I mean...
Wait, why would it be in my mouth? Wouldn't it be in my ear?
It's like...
Your ear, your head.
It's like talking about Death in the Family with Batman. These comics have been released for so long, everybody just knows the storyline by osmosis.
Not me.
Well, okay, people who, listen and pay attention have friends.
Hold on, if it's osmosis, doesn't that mean that they have to have the comic and then be sleeping, on it? Don't they have to be in contact with it?
With that for osmosis to work?
Yeah.
I don't know why I talk. You put all the fun into everything.
Alright, guys, so is this something you're looking forward to, Alex?
I haven't actually seen any of the other Batman movies. However, I do want to, and I have easy access with my Batman friend, having most of them, so I'd like to check it out.
Wait, you've never seen any Batman film? Any of them at all?
I want to. I want to see the Red Hood. I want to see... I'm sure there's plenty of others that I can't name off the top of my head, but I've heard of them, and I want to see them.
But I mean, have you seen, the film?
Wait,
Dark Knight or...
The animated Batman I'm talking about.
Did you ever watch Batman animated?
It's live action.
Okay. Alright, so it's not like you have no idea who Batman or any of the villains are. You've just never seen it animated.
Yes, Batman is, other than Deadpool, he's probably my favorite. Except he's not really a superhero unless his power is being rich.
That's a pretty good superpower.
Well, you gotta think, though, him being stealthy is not an easy thing, so that's a pretty good skill.
He was trained by the League of Assassins, that's how he got that way.
Yeah, so you gotta commend him for that, you know? It's not just like any Joe Schmo just could put on a bat suit with shiny tools and be Batman.
I'm not saying that it's bad that he doesn't have a superpower. I think it's awesome that he's a human that has enough training to be able to take on supervillains and sometimes Superman.
I'm Superman.
But, yeah, for me, for the movie, I don't know if I'd exactly probably watch it. I'll probably end up seeing it just whenever it goes, like, on Netflix, or if it goes anywhere like that, I'll probably end up watching it then. But I don't know if I'll, like, proactively go get it to watch it.
You know, talking about, just for a split second, diverting to that Batman versus Superman, you didn't tell us how far they strayed from Batman's character in that film. I had a friend who actually was listening to the podcast, and he was saying that you left some major points out of your assessment of the movie that he thought were indicative of the movie's quality.
Okay, well, go ahead and let me know.
He was saying that one of his major problems with the movie was that Batman was characterized in the film as being very jump to conclusions rather than, research as opposed to the investigator, the detective.
I would say...
Didn't he use a firearm and shoot someone dead?
That was actually a alternate universe, I believe, when he used a gun. Like, this was, like... So
there was an alternate universe inside the movie?
Yes, one of the things, yes, he was having these visions of an alternate reality where Superman basically becomes, like, he takes control of the world essentially because he's all powerful and all that, and everybody follows him, and Batman's trying to lead a resistance against him and trying to get kryptonite. And basically, he goes to meet with them, with a group, to get the kryptonite. Deal goes bad because the group was actually setting him up. So then he has to try to fight his way out. He does grab a gun. He does shoot someone. He snaps a guy's neck.
So all of this happens in a dream.
All this happens in his vision. And
okay, see, that's important to know, because my friend who was talking about this and saying it really bugged him said he felt like he was looking into another universe, but he never he did not state that it was looking universe or even just a dream sequence. He said he was very confused by it.
Yes, there were, because visions happen a couple times during the movie, and you don't really know that they're going to happen until, like, you're already in the vision,
right? And
then you, like, hopefully then you'll realize maybe that's a vision.
So they're subtle about it in that they present it like it's not, like it's, normal story continuing to flow, and then something completely out of character happens, and that's supposed to make you go, oh, this must be a vision.
Yes, that is pretty much it.
Okay.
And the fact that it's kind of a desolate world that you kind of see in the visions. So at that, like, once you start seeing, like, all the sand, dirt, and, like, desolate crap everywhere, then you also kind of have an idea, like, okay, this can't be taking place in the current present.
That makes sense. Alright, I just wanted to clear it up because it was after he talked to me about it. So the last thing I wanted to say about Batman at all was, yes, I'm excited for this Killing Joke because they're bringing back Mark Hamill as Joker again. And he was always my favorite Joker, and I thought he was done being the Joker after Arkham City, or the last, Arkham Knight. So I was really happy about that. So after that...
Wait, hold on.
No,
this is the last thing, because I wanted to address your friend's other point.
Okay.
I also see what they're getting at about Batman going, like, jumping to conclusions and all that. They did kind of lead him in that direction rather than investigating, and it kind of made him off to be a little more, like, moody and whiny than kind of what Batman really should be.
Yeah, but was he also a lot more, like, punch first and ask question never because of it?
Yes.
That is unfortunate. Okay. Alright, so yes, there was a little bit of I would say that there were some directions they chose depicting Batman that were...
I still like Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne in Batman.
Okay. Alright, so we cleared that up.
Yes.
I still have to... So, Warcraft movie. They're making a Warcraft movie. In other words, a movie based on the storyline of the video game Warcraft. What? And in case you're still confused, Warcraft, I'm talking about the really old Warcraft, the original Warcraft, the RTS game, not WoW, World of Warcraft.
There was an original Warcraft game?
There was, by Blizzard.
How old
they're all
is
by
it?
Blizzard. How old? Oh, my goodness. Well, it came out before I met you, Malachi, so it's more than
it was still in
15
school.
years old now. We're going back almost 20 years. Actually, we're probably going back 20 years. It was probably early thousands.
Yeah, talk about reliving vicariously.
Yeah. So the Warcraft movie is supposed to, seems like it's probably going to follow the storyline of that first Warcraft game, in as far as it shows the exodus of the orcs from their homeworld of Draenor into Azeroth, as they seek humans' assistance in fighting demon lords who have taken control of basically their entire race, made them into nothing more than minions. And it's going to follow all the conflicts between the humans and the orcs as they try to set up this alliance, as it were.
So you're saying it's based on the first game, so this is more the origin, so anyone that hasn't played it should be able to get into it.
Yeah, because it's the same storyline as the first game, which got you into it, so you shouldn't be at any kind of disadvantage not having played the games. Should be the introduction to the story as we were into the first game. That's correct.
Well, that's cool, because a lot of the CG looks pretty decent, at least what I've seen in the trailers, so I was interested in seeing it, but I didn't know if I was going to be lost watching it.
Yeah, I saw some interesting things you could pick out when you were looking at the orcs, on Draenor, and then what I didn't see too much of, there were a couple quick shots of the live action, the actual actors next to the CG orcs, and it looked okay in those quick shots, but, when it showed a full shot CG and then a full shot, real life, they looked pretty different to me, so I'm interested to see how they mesh in the real life and how nice.
So you know anything about it, Alex?
No, I do not. I've never played any Warcraft, whether it be that or WoW.
So do you have any quick questions about it, maybe?
I thought it was pretty straightforward, based off of what I saw on the trailer. It's the fact that the orcs aren't the orcs like dying out or getting killed or whatever, and so they go to the humans who they're not very friendly with, but they find some humans that actually are willing to help them, and then they join forces and kick butt.
I mean, effectively, I don't know the exact route the movie is going to go, but in the first game, the orcs were a mostly enslaved race, and they were most enslaved by demons on the world of Draenor. And so then they go through the dark portal which connects Draenor to Azeroth, and the ones who are not completely enthralled by the demons, they seek humans' help in freeing their race. That was the story of the first game, as far as I understood it, and it seems likely that the movie would follow that story, but, as we've seen with a lot of movies lately, that there's a lot of poetic license taken.
Goddamn scorched trials.
As the writers and directors add their own spin to the reimagining.
Oh yeah, because they want it to be mildly original so that they can say, this is mine.
Right.
And not just a straightforward exactly what happened.
Are you guys going to go see Warcraft when it hits theaters? Not if, it's going.
Yeah, I'll give it a look.
It looks pretty interesting. I want to give it a shot, because I know a decent amount about Warcraft, just not heavy tail.
I might, but more than likely, I'll probably wait until it comes out on video for me to see it.
Whichever route I take, I'll definitely. So, the other movie is Borderlands. Borderlands, the video game's getting so. Now that we're out of books to make movies from, and we've got nobody with original ideas to make movies, we're making movies out of video game. This is simultaneously a little bit sad, but at the same time it makes a lot of sense. Just given the culture of the world these days, where gaming really is taking center stage. So to me, it makes a lot of sense that now other media are sort of following gaming, as opposed to, gaming trying to mimic other media.
I mean, let's be fair. They've had video game movies in the past.
Tron?
Well, yeah.
Tron, Mortal Kombat, Blood Rain.
But
You're correct. But don't count Blood Rain. That's Uwe Boll.
Don't count any Uwe Boll movies.
Don't count Uwe Boll movies.
We just got to think the gamer population. They're more into adults now, and they're having kids, which then they're introducing their kids to it. So it's growing just because this generation that has all this access to it is giving it to their kids. So it's a more sodded media.
But yeah, so Borderlands, they announced that they have chosen a screenwriter, and it's Aaron Berg from Section 6. He was also originally linked to G.I. Joe 3, and they are saying that it's going to be based off of the first game, so off the first Borderlands on Pandora. And they're going for an R rating. They're just automatically saying, yeah, we're going for an R rating. It's going to be Mad Max in space.
Mad Max. Do you think they're going to use the animation style from the game, the movie? Are they gonna like hire on actors who have just like naturally thicker outline?
You know, I really want to see like how they do it. Like, are they actually going to like use like essentially Sharpie and like draw lines on them for that effect?
That would be funny.
I'm not sure what direction they're going to go. I haven't seen anything written about it, so I don't know if it'll be live action or if it'll be like the actual art style.
What's really nice about this also, this picking Borderlands as a game or a movie, is they have a lot of openness to the game too, or to the movie, because it follows a story, but it's very open.
Well, yeah,
that's what I remember.
It's in a sense, it's kind of open world, but at the same time, you're still kind of led.
There's a storyline. You're trying to get to the vault.
Yeah.
All right, so that's going to be fun. I want to give all these movies a look, whether it's while it's in theaters or afterward. I want to give these. All right, so we did Killing Joke, Warcraft, and Borderlands. I think now it's time for Reliving Vicariously, Season 4 of Red vs. Blue.
No.
If he's screaming like that, he's going to pass out and fall off the cliff.
Go get me some sniper rifles.
That was the beginning of.
Don't duck, that makes you harder to hit.
No, it goes you, then me, then Simmons, then back down to me, then you, then me,
then me, then me, then you, then me, then Simmons, then me, then me, then me. Doesn't that mean
then
you go...
again. It makes perfect sense.
Doesn't that mean you go twice as much as everybody else, or like 10 times as much?
And then you shoot some.
Hey, it was my turn.
This is lightning round.
Who's in the lightning round?
Me.
This is why I like Sarge.
He does have some of my favorite in the series. So, really quickly, where did Season 4 start?
4 started where they just got back in Gulf.
Where did they come from?
They came from, I don't know the base offhand. It was the one with the windmill, and where you meet, you see, at the end of Season 3, you were talking to...
So they were in...
Oh, what's the computer's name again?
Gary?
Yeah, Gary. I had a brain fart there. The base where Gary is, they got from there, the Reds went from there into Blood Gulch.
And so then, now that they're back in Blood Gulch, really quickly, what happens? How does it end?
So just the shenanigans of them getting back there, going back to their base, and they're like looking at all the upgrades and changes, and seeing that it's over the course of 800 years that how different it is, and Simmons was seeing a tank, but everyone was telling him he's crazy. And then he was technically demoted, and he left because of it.
Technically.
Ooh, and then didn't you have the game to decide who would take his place?
Yeah, with Donut, that was funny with the wrench and the skull.
In your face, skull!
In your skull face.
And Sheila was rooting for the wrench.
I liked when one of my friend Sam's favorites in that series is when Caboose is talking to Andy the Bomb, and Sarge comes up with a plan, which involves stealing the bomb. And he runs out and steals, like, the skull or something, steals Lopez's head instead of the bomb, and he has to go back and steal it again.
Well, what happens, look, they were going to go raid the Blues base, because Simmons just gave them information that they were going to get help. So Sarge is like, we need to get there now. So, and they're rushing the blue base, and they're trying to find Lopez, and then Donut's just sitting there talking to his head on the rock, just randomly. So then they find Lopez, and they're like, the message is Spanish, so they can't read it. So they're like, well, they got a translator. So they went to go steal Andrew, and Sarge took Lopez's head, and then did the switcheroo with Lopez's head, and then they got there, and then so they're like, okay, let's translate the message. Wait, where's Lopez? And Griff said, sir, permission?
Permission freely?
No, he said permission to make sarcastic, demeaning remark or something like that.
Yes.
And he said, request denied.
Request denied. Yoink again. So, I just like that he yoinked it, got it wrong, had to run back and yoink it again.
Well, actually, yeah, he went went back. It's like, Caboose, look over there, or behind you. What?
Yoink again.
Yoink.
Andy!
Yes, because he replaced Andy with a skull. So Caboose thought Andy's dead. My friend died. Fix him.
So, yeah, through the course of that, Simmons painted himself blue
Yes.
to infiltrate the blue base because of what
He wasn't
happened
trying to
with-
infiltrate the blue base, he was trying to
Well,
join the blues because the Reds
because-
kicked him out.
Because he was seeing a tank that didn't exist apparently, but it did. And then he was having issues with saying, let's get the blues, I mean reds. Damn it, this is hard.
Why am I so bad at
Suck
this?
it, blue. I mean
Suck it,
red.
blue. I mean red. I mean
Damn
blue. You guys know that's just Simmons, right? Yeah. Just like to screw.
Oh yeah, because he said that they talking behind his back and saying he's a stupid guy, he just does idiot things all the time, messes everything up. And he's like, he's like, are you crying? It's like, no.
That guy sounds like a real jerk.
And I forgot what happened, but then they caught Sarge and Griff, I think it was that caught, and they tried to throw him in the hole and then just popped back up. So there was all that, and yeah, so basically it was developing that the Blues also went on the quest, and they were on the quest during the earlier part of the season 2. Which led to them going through a swamp, being followed by Tex. Actually,
So who went on the quest? Was it an epic quest? Did they have a ranger and a healer?
yes. Wait,
they
didn't it was Caboose, Tucker, the alien, Honk Honk,
Andy.
and
Larkhawk.
Andy.
Larghong?
Yeah, and it was just those 4.
I thought his
Yes.
name was Fluffy.
Yeah, Fluffy. That's what Caboose wanted to
The
call him.
alien who only loves.
Flarg. Honk.
Oh, there was the whole thing where they were trying to understand which 2.
Flarg? Flarg comes before
Now-
Honk. Or is it after?
Now, did they have to face a certain huge beast on their journey?
Oh no! He said that there was going to be a big monster, but it was already dead when they got there. It was a cow skull, and he's just like, "I've killed hundreds of those things."
They're delicious.
So the end of the season was where after they got back from the quest and they found out the sword was just a key. Oh, that was a fun comment what Caboose said. They were describing the sword, and Caboose was like, well, it's a key, that's a sword, and when you hit people with it, it unlocks their death.
You stick it in people and then you unlock their death.
I thought that was a really good comment.
Was it?
So, after they come back from there, they're all in Blood Gulch, and Tucker is apparently pregnant. And
Well, that's a weird end to an epic quest. How did that happen?
he was being sick, or was sick when they got back. They called O'Malley back
Why would they
The
call
Blood
O'Malley? That guy's crazy.
because he was attached to Doc.
Oh,
and
they need the doctor.
Yes, and then he told him he was pregnant. And that's also why Lopez was back in Gulch. And so, yeah, with that, the alien was born. Caboose called Tucker, who was trying to talk to Reds, and he freaked out on Caboose because he's like, "Why are you on the radio? Crap! Now I'm on the radio." he's like, "Well, that's why I kind of called you. O'Malley's gone.
Because the Reds already
They're
used their
using
radios. The Reds apparently called home base and sending in a ship.
Yep. So, and then Donut wants to go see the baby and is flattened by the ship.
And
So,
then
yeah,
the
this-
season ends.
Yep. And so apparently O'Malley is with the Reds somewheres. We don't know who he's with.
Or he could have
Ugh.
infected Blue Command. I mean, Red Command. Command.
Command period, which is run by Vic Jr., his great grandson.
Who is exactly as snarky as Vic and really sounds
Exactly like Vic.
Yeah.
So that was kind of chopped up and all over the place, but that was all the fun stuff that happened. And
No, that was relatively chronological. It was good.
the other fun part was when that's why I like Sarge is when they were doing this, about to do the swap with Andrew. He was talking. I was like, "Well, you could see him with your sniper. Why don't you just shoot him down?" He's like, "Well, that's cowardly. You got to go up to a man and punch him, or beat him with your fist, because then you can get off one-liners like, 'You got Sarge.'"
You've just been sarged.
And then he's what this guy is. Well, then you just can drop a 10 megaton bomb on him. You don't have time for everyone.
Just take off and nuke him for orbit. The only way, sure.
So that was one of my parts I enjoyed a lot, was that, because Sarge's comments are just great, because they're half witty and half stupid. I think it's fantastic.
Nice. Alright. Reliving vicariously. We did it.
Woo! Woo! Season 4.
Season
complete.
4 complete. Achievement unlocked.
Hopefully I can catch up before season 14 comes.
No.
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 Not at one a week.
True.
Maybe. You don't know when season 14 is going to come out.
Does it have a release date yet?
Not yet.
Well, maybe I might get lucky.
Maybe.
I don't think so. I don't think they showed one in the
Oh, I
trailer.
thought you were saying you didn't going to get lucky. Alright, so then I just wanted to take a minute to touch on something I did, which was I went to PAX East, Boston, last week, or 2 weeks ago, according to the date of this release, depending. I don't know. I attended the Saturday day of the convention with a couple of friends of mine who are local Boston. We're not really panel attenders, so we did a lot of floor wandering, just seeing the sights and testing out what games we could. So one of the first stops we made was at the Square Enix, where we tried out a demo of Final Fantasy 15.
That game is actually still coming out.
Yeah, I know.
I've given up all hope on that game. It just doesn't exist to me.
So they have a demo set up, and supposedly that should coming to the PlayStation 4 for you to just download and try out whenever. Not already out. It's supposed to come out shortly after PAX, where PAX would be the intro. I tried it. I played through it. It handled a lot like Kingdom Hearts. And by a lot, I mean exactly like Kingdom Hearts.
This might be Kingdom Hearts 3, and they're just calling it Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah, effectively, you controlled the character that you played as almost exactly like Sora. Now, again, this was like a pre-rendered demo kind of thing, if that makes any sense. Basically, the area that you play in, the storyline that you play in, may have nothing to do with the storyline of the game, and it was more just for them to say, here's what the graphics and the control scheme are going to look and feel like, but not necessarily actually give you any insight into the game. You play this kid who wakes up in the woods, and the summon spirit Carbuncle shows up and begins guiding him through, telling him, yeah, Carbuncle is one of the cutest things ever, and it's really, really adorable in this demo. And it begins guiding through and telling you you're in a dream world, and explaining to you what ability you have in a dream, and that you're fighting your nightmares and things of that nature. Again, it handles quite a lot like Kingdom Hearts, except that you assign the X, square, and circle to be the three different weapons. The three different weapons are a sword, which is for quick slashing, combo attacking, a hammer, which is just for single strike, heavy melee attacks, and then fireworks, which are like your fire spell, a ranged attack. And then you go through the dream, learning use things, and then Carbuncle is leading you the exit. You have to, in order to wake up, you have to get to your safe, you have to find your safe place and escape the dream. And this big golem, an iron golem's out and you go to fight this thing, and as you do so, it's not well explained, but, the character sort of realizes he has to be someone else, I guess, in order to fight this thing, or he remembers his courage, and his courage in the dream world manifests as him fast-forwarding about 10 years, going from a 10-year-old to a 20-year-old, very anime hair, and the, Kingdom Hearts-style, foam sword and rubber hammer you have become the hammer becomes like a giant claymore broadsword, and the regular sword becomes sort of like a fencing blade, and the fireworks that you had become the actual fire spell, and you fight the thing. My only trouble that I had with it was that if you have a dodge and roll command, just like you do in Kingdom Hearts, but if you, see the enemy's attack coming in straight at you, and you hit roll to the side to get out of the way of it, the enemy immediately turns and hits you anyway. Mid-swing, his weapon is falling on the place you were standing, you move, and then as it's still falling, he just repositions and it hits you anyway.
So it's more like he's locked on versus attacking that area.
Yeah, it is. It wasn't, you couldn't actually just dodge it on your own. The only actual way to dodge was to hold the dodge roll button in, and this would cause you to automatically dodge any attacks that hit you while you're holding it. So you would be attacking, and you could just hold the attack button and it would automatically combo for you. And then as soon as you saw him begin an attack, you let go of the attack button and begin holding the dodge button. You just stand there and hold the dodge button. As soon as his weapon comes down, your character teleports out of the way and then teleports back.
What?
And it was it was really, the game was pretty, the controls were easy enough to get a handle on. It was sometimes a little hard to aim the attacks, but that dodge really, I had a problem with. It basically took no skill to fight that boss, and maybe that's what they wanted. They didn't want it to be an oh my god, I can't beat this demo boss. But it really was, I held the button and it automatically dodges everything for me. Like, he unleashed a barrage on me and I just held the square button and didn't do anything else, and I dodged everything, and then when he stopped swinging, I just hit him.
That sounds really lame. That's why I'm not all like, yay, it's coming out finally.
But again, just a demo, so who knows if the final product will look, I don't know, anything like it, but I like the Carbuncle was there, he was cute. All I know is that during the demo, I stood on a little button, and it turned me into a giant alligator with dragon wings, and I got to bite enemies until whatever the transformation ran out. I have no idea what that was about, but it was fun being a giant alligator with dragon wings.
Okay.
Any other games?
Yes, I tried an indie game that my friend was very, very excited about called Seven, Days Gone By. Which is...
I think I've heard this before.
It's like a third-person top-down game, kind of reminiscent of Shadowrun Returns, if you played that. So you're controlling this guy third-person from above. The way the demo started off was you're in a prison camp, and for something, I don't know why, and they're telling you, well, you can work off your debt and buy, like, a travel visa in order to get out. And as soon as you get in, somebody, you get a call, and they're like, all right, now that you're inside. So apparently they got you sent to the prison camp so that you could do a mission, and you're supposed to go find somebody and talk to them. So I'm not entirely sure. I didn't know anything about it going in. My friend was excited about it because they don't first-person games, so the third-persons, especially third-person top-down games, they're really excited about because that's what they like. All I know is that you appear to have some kind of mission, which involves meeting a guy inside the prison. What that's supposed to build into, the bigger world-saving going on, I didn't get a clear picture of. It was a pre-alpha that I demoed, so there were bugs and funny things that you could do. The first thing they said was, oh, you want to we talked to a merchant. He said, oh, you want to go find this guy? Well, I hear he's over in this town, which is apparently inside the prison camp, I guess. And he goes, but you should know you're going to need a gas mask to go there. I can sell you a gas mask for way more money than you have. And according to the dev who was standing behind us laughing at all of our bungles, he was telling us we're supposed to go find another NPC, and he's supposed to tell us what work we can do for money so that we can buy the gas mask. Well, my friend just, turned a corner, found a box that said she could loot it, and as soon as she looted it, there was a gas mask inside. We're like, okay, I guess we don't have to work for money after all. Then I spent the rest of the demo trying to figure out now that we had the gas mask, how to get to the other town, but I just kept running into, walls. I couldn't progress, and I was trying to find my way around. Eventually, I ended up on top of, the outer wall of the prison camp, and all the guys that I was I thought that there were just, other prisoners, sighing and thinking about their lives up on top of the wall before they had to go back to work. No, apparently it was just guards on top of the walls, and what I didn't notice was they were all yelling at me, and they started chasing and shooting at me. Found out I could outrun the guards just by holding in the sprint button. I eventually jumped off the wall and out of the prison camp. I don't think I'm supposed to be able to do this.
I'm free!
I'm free! It was a fun game. There was one button that we never really figured out the purpose of that you could apparently, fast forward. So my friend thought, there's supposed to be a stealth and a parkour element to it. So maybe when you're stealthing, if you're waiting for a guy to, walk by so that you can then sneak to your next hiding space, maybe you can just hit the fast forward button so you don't have to wait. I found out...
So you watch the pattern, then you can fast forward to the spot you...
Maybe. Possibly. We never really found out. What I did find out was that I could use the fast forward button while I was moving, and I launched myself off a bridge by accident. Because it's really hard to steer when you're fast forwarding. All in all, I thought it was great. They had little sticky notes so you could write down what you liked or didn't like about the game and then stick it to the wall around the PC you were playing on. So we know that they were, looking for feedback and trying to be receptive. They were very helpful. If we ever didn't know a button or what we were supposed to be doing, they could tell us where to find it. It was a good experience. Yeah, 7 days gone by.
Cool. And anything else?
I mean, I spent a lot of the day walking around. I went indie booths. I went to mainstream booths. There was League of Legends, of course, just gets bigger every year. This year they had, which were representatives from university battling on stage. So people actually just sat down in this area and watched a tournament go on. They were watching play on Summoner's Rift.
Esports, yeah, there's a new college section for the whole League of Legends esports. It's actually a whole separate bracket now from the actual main league.
Or was it might have been I'm now checking my info.
So the big
Yes.
question
Days long
is,
gone.
did you see Rooster Teeth there?
Yes, I did see Rooster Teeth there. They were showing off Ruby Grim Eclipse. They had a funhouse thing going on, and of course they had the store. I didn't see any persons of note. Really? All the people working there were RT people, but I didn't recognize, they weren't screen personalities that I recognized. But, there were a couple people there. I showed my friends Grim Eclipse. They tried it out. They thought it was fun. There were some RT people there to kind of explain it to us and help them with the controls and everything. So it was a good experience, but I didn't spend a lot of time there because there wasn't merchandise that I wanted to purchase at the time, and there were lots of things that we were running around to see. So, yes, the Rooster Teeth was there. It was very large. It was one of the largest booths.
Yep.
And there was some event going on. I remember there was a big line going in the boozed area, but I don't remember what that was.
But yeah, that was the first time they unveiled their large booth area.
I remembered thinking that something was strange. We walked by the Rooster Teeth, and like I said, I didn't see any persons of note, but then I heard Jack's voice, and I turned around, and at the booth across from her, which was Alpha Stream, I think is what it was called, there was Gilby, Jack, and I think Katie were streaming in this little, soundproof box.
Yes,
and,
yeah, they were doing a stream at one point. I remember seeing on Twitter.
And they spent a lot of time, all day. They spent practically all day in that booth with Alpha Stream. And I was like, this Alpha Stream thing, did they, ditch RT to go do this? What's going on? Okay, so one of the reasons my friend was so excited about 7 is that 7 is by the same developer who made the game Witcher, or it's supposed to be very much like Witcher, and I think so they were very excited because it's at least like Witcher. 7 is inspired to the isometric RP, so there you go. If you think of the original put Thief and Witcher together, and you have 7 days long gone.
Is it Witcher or The Witcher?
Witcher? Why are they different?
Well, I know The Witcher 3 came out.
Well, no, I thought that was Witcher 3, and this is The Witcher
Well, no, so there is a "the" in front of it.
There's
The Witcher, The Witcher 2, The Witcher 3.
Okay, so that has a The Witcher.
Okay. I just didn't know in case it was another game and it was just called Witcher, not The Witcher.
I don't know. So okay, I'm gonna have to guess by this. All right, so that was my day at PAX. It was a lot of walking and trying out what games we could. It was a lot of fun. Cool. Lots of people and lots of League of Legends cosplay.
So, has it prepared you a little bit for the crowds that we're going to have at RTX?
Yes, it has. Although one is never fully prepared for crowds. One does not simply walk into crowds.
Lines. Line.
Line Simulator 2016. All right. I'm happy.
Me too. I feel
it's a good podcast.
Satisfied.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Goodbye.
Keep playing. Keep playing. Keep playing. Keep playing.